Good evening, dear listeners. Tonight, I want to share a letter from an expectant father. He says that both he and his wife are career professionals, and their life has always been well organized. But their first child is due next week. Their plan is well thought out. His wife will take 12 weeks of maternity leave, then return to work for days a week. He will continue working full-time. The baby will go to daycare Monday to Friday, from morning to evening. Everything seems perfect, right? Clear logic, well-defined roles, highly efficient. But this expectant father has a small bug in his mind. He says his wife will have one free day each week the baby will be in daycare, and she can go to the gym, shop, or catch up on sleep. As for him, after work each day, they will jointly take care of the baby until the next morning. All their shared time will be in parent mode. No dates, no holding hands at the movies, no aimless walks and conversations. So he came up with an idea. Hire a nanny for 10 hours a week, specifically to carve out time for just the two of them as a couple. They could watch a movie, go out to eat, or do nothing at all, just be together. And guess what? His wife was very angry. She said she absolutely did not want to spend that much time every week just being with him. She found the suggestion ridiculous, even offensive. She said that's called family time. If they really want to date, they can occasionally hire a nanny. She asked, "Why should we deliberately leave our child? We are a family." The husband is confused. He asked me, "I just want to take 5% of our life and reserve it for us as a couple. Is that wrong?" Friends, let me ask you a question first. When you hear this story, what is your first reaction? Some people might think, this husband is so romantic and thoughtful. Others might agree with the wife. Once you have a child, why insist on a separate couple's world? Tonight, I want to take you into the wife's inner world, because this situation is far more complex than simply who is right and who is wrong. On the surface, this is a disagreement about parenting arrangements. The husband brings logic. The wife responds with emotion. From a psychological perspective, the wife's anger is likely not directed at spending time with you, but at the idea of being separated from the child. Imagine this. This baby has been growing inside her for nearly 9 months. Every second, she has felt this life more directly than the father. After the baby is born, especially if she chooses to breastfeed, the child will feel like an extension of her own body. For many mothers in the postpartum period, the psychological boundary between mother and child is very blurred. When the baby cries, her chest tightens. When the baby smiles, her whole body relaxes. At this moment, the husband says, "Let's take 10 hours every week. Leave the baby with someone else and spend time just the two of us." What she hears is not, "I want to go on a date with you." What she might hear is, "Let's pretend for a while that this child doesn't exist." Or worse, "This child is getting in the way of us." For a woman who is about to become a mother or has just become one, this kind of suggestion that feels like pretending the child doesn't exist can instinctively trigger fear, even a sense of betrayal, because her body, her hormones, her entire survival instinct are telling her, protect this baby. Do not leave them. So when she says, "We are a family," what she really means is, I can no longer imagine life without this child. How can you? The husband's thinking is very white-collar elite, quantified, efficient, optimized. He believes that if 100% of their time is spent in parent mode, then carving out 5% for couple mode is perfectly reasonable. But marriage and parenting are not Excel spreadsheets. What the wife resists is the deliberate arrangement. She says it's fine to hire a nanny occasionally for dates, but she rejects a fixed 10 hours every week. What's the difference? It's the difference between spontaneity and obligation. When something becomes a task that must be completed every week, even if it involves someone you love, it can gradually turn into a burden. The wife's intuition tells her, if we have to rigidly carve out 10 hours every week to be a couple, maybe it means our everyday connection is not enough, that we need to fix it. And she doesn't want a marriage that needs fixing. What she wants is intimacy that arises naturally within family time. For example, after the baby falls asleep, the two of them curl up on the couch and watch an episode together. Or on a weekend morning, they bathe the baby together and exchange a smile. To her, raising the child together is itself a form of couple interaction. But for the husband, taking care of the child and being a couple are separate. He sees the former as work, and the latter as life. Friends, there is no standard answer here. But what I want to say is this. One of the biggest misunderstandings after becoming parents is either completely merging the roles of partner and parent, or completely separating them. A healthy marriage allows these two roles to alternate naturally, like breathing. Let's also look at the wife's one day a week when the child is in daycare and she rests. What do you think she will do on that day? Go to the gym, catch up on sleep, go shopping? On the surface, it's rest. But deeper down, it is the only window she has to preserve her identity as someone who is not a mother. Has she lost exclusive time as a wife? No, in her view. Spending evenings taking care of the child together already counts as shared time as a couple. What she needs more is time alone. And the husband's proposal lands exactly on this point. He wants time for two. He thinks he is paying for a nanny. But the wife feels he is occupying her remaining personal space. It's like two people in the desert. One says, "I'm thirsty. Share some water with me?" The other replies, "I'm also thirsty, but my water is not for sharing. It's for keeping myself alive." Ironically, the husband may not even realize what the wife is rejecting is not him, but any request that requires her to further allocate her already limited energy. She is about to exhaust herself while he is still planning romance. In the long run, the husband is right. Countless marriage counseling cases show that the first year after a child is born is when marital satisfaction drops the fastest. Many couples become so absorbed in the role of parent that they forget they are also lovers. And by the time the child grows up, they realize they have nothing left to say to each other. The husband is trying to prevent this. It's smart and it comes from love. But the wife does not need prevention right now. What she needs is reassurance. Everything will be okay. We won't lose each other just because we have a child. She needs trust, not a plan. The husband's proposal is logically flawless, but emotionally, it feels like a splash of cold water. Because when she says, "If we need a date, we can occasionally hire a nanny," what she really means is, "When I truly feel something is wrong between us, I will find a way. But for now, please don't treat our relationship as a project that needs maintenance." So, who is the jerk here? No one. Truly, no one. The husband is not a jerk. He just wants so badly to be a good husband and a good father that he forgets. Sometimes loving someone is not about solving every problem in advance, but about facing an unpredictable future together. The wife is not a jerk either. She is simply instinctively protecting what she believes to be a more real, more intimate sense of family. It's not that she doesn't want to spend time alone with you, she just doesn't want to be scheduled to do so. If you ever find yourself in a similar situation, remember these 3 things. First, don't try to solve emotional problems with efficiency. Hiring a nanny for 10 hours a week sounds reasonable, but intimacy does not need to be reasonable, it needs to be desired. Let her want to be alone with you, instead of requiring it. Second, turn dates into surprises, not systems. Instead of saying, "Every Friday night we hire a nanny," try this. One day after the baby is born, book a restaurant in advance and say, "I've already arranged a nanny. Tomorrow at 7, we're going out to eat." She will feel surprised, not resistant. Third, and most importantly, accept the chaos. The first year with a baby is messy. You may not have real conversations for a long time. You may always be talking about the child. But believe this, as long as you are still willing to hand each other a glass of water when one of you is exhausted, still willing to exchange a tired smile after the baby falls asleep, you have not lost each other. That 5% of couple time does not need to be carved out deliberately. It exists in every late night, in every silent understanding of you go to sleep. I'll take over. Dear listeners, for this couple about to welcome a new life, the issue is not whether they should hire a nanny, but whether they allow their marriage to love in a different way after having a child. The husband wants to use addition adding dedicated time. The wife wants to use multiplication making family time itself contain love. Who is right and who is wrong? No one. They are simply speaking different languages. If you have ever felt lost in your marriage, if you have ever argued with your partner about how to allocate time, tell me in the comments. Do you relate more to the husband's anxiety or the wife's resistance? Tonight, the moonlight shines on everyone who is about to become a parent. Please remember, the child is your continuation, but you are each other's beginning. Good night. May you become gentle partners to each other before becoming good parents.